let's talk about a reliable answer structure. To me, reliability comes from clear definition of each section of the answer. We need to know what it does, the number of sentences that should go in there, the sentence structures, and so on. Let's read it together, this question. Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. When you celebrate your birthday, do you prefer a quiet place with few people or a crowded place with more people? For the first two sentences, opinion, reason, I'm usually very straightforward. Let's read it together, shall we? 1, 2, 3, go. I prefer to celebrate my birthday at a crowded place because celebrating there can help me make more friends. Okay. Usually I just go with one answer because ETS requires all the test takers to explain their reasons, right? Personally, if I have two reasons or even more, then I have to come up with even more examples to explain them. My short-term memory will explode, and that causes problem for my grammar, fluency, and everything else. So I prefer to keep it simple. And then there's an example that proves the reason. The example is further broken down into three parts. The first part is what I call opinion plus. Okay, I just call that because it's basically opinion with a little bit of information like time and person in there. Let's read it together, shall we? The two sentences. 1, 2, 3, go. For example, last year I also celebrated my birthday at a really crowded place. To be more specific, I held my birthday party at a popular local bar. Okay. I usually keep a two-sentence format, and the first sentence I'm usually very general. I don't add too many details. All I add is a time point, last year or a couple of years ago or a while back. I can be I or some other people. And then the next sentence, I usually choose to explain a word that I haven't explained in the first sentence in more detail, but not too much detail. For example, I can say I held it at a bar, or I can say that my birthday is on January something, 1990 something, okay? It's not, once again, it's not mandatory. All you need to do is to find a pattern that you can generate easily without thinking much. We have some suggestion in the appendix section that you can check, okay? All right, let's read the process together. Process is basically natural consequences after opinion plus, okay? After the opinion, after celebrating your birthday at a really crowded place. Let's read it together. 1, 2, 3, go. In the bar, I was able to interact with a lot of people around us. Although initially, you can add initially, I didn't know many people. I was able to enjoy talking to them and having beers with them. We also played beer games together. We just had a lot of fun hanging out. After that, we'd even exchange contact information. All right, there are 5 sentences here. All these sentences are contractible or expandable. Okay, you can make it 5 sentence or 3 sentence. We will talk about sentence allocation a little bit later. The last line is called reason plus. The reason why I call it reason plus is simply because at the end of the story, you have to show the reader, the listener, that you have proved your point, your reason, right? So that's why you have to circle back. So now I have some, let's read it together. 1, 2, 3, go. So now I have some new friends thanks to my birthday party last year. And I think it's just a great way to make friends. Just like opinion plus, the first sentence is usually quite general. I don't add too many details. And I only go a little bit more specific in the second sentence. And for any ending, story ending that is positive, actually, there are several ways to add very easy details. For example, here I usually just add some positive emotion. I feel great about it. I love it. I love my friends. I love my life. I love everything, okay? Before we go into the next section and explain chains of benefits and how it can feel the answer structure very quickly, I want you to pause and think about this question and read some of these task 1 questions. These are very typical task 1 questions. After you have your answer, please move on to the next section. These 3 chains of benefits can be used to answer pretty much every TOEFL speaking question. I've selected some representative words here. And we will go through 3 chains very quickly with this sample question. Do you prefer to work in a big company or a small company? Here are the 3 chains of benefits that can be used to solve pretty much every TOEFL speaking question. I've selected some representative words here for us to practice. Let's start with the first chain, the interaction relationship chain. Okay. And we're going to use this question: do you prefer to work in a big company or a small company? To practice, okay? And how we answer in the chain system, how we think in the chain system is like this. We think about the reason first, and then we pick our opinion. Okay. For example, if you want to make more friends, would you prefer to work in a big company or a small company? Just decide based on your split-second decision.